What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So, everyone's been celebrating anniversaries, huh? Sometimes you got your wedding anniversary and you got this anniversary and that. Well, a lot of us are celebrating the anniversary of the greatest battle in history. Now, rap battle, that is. Now, most of us are celebrating songs like Not Like Us and Meet the Grams and so on and so forth. While on the other side, the Drake fans are celebrating songs like Family Matters. Okay. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about two things. One, the fact that it had already been put out there that there had been that there might have been a conversation behind the scenes as to, I guess, quote unquote, the rules of engagement. Seems like more and more that is probably true and that there had been a discussion. But it also seems like despite this discussion, Drake still decided to step over the line. Now we're going to talk about that. And apparently there had been a fade offered, let's fight. Okay. And Drake said no. Now I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about, because a lot of Drake fans are celebrating Family Matters, and they have been celebrating it, calling it the best diss track of the battle. Okay. Now, something I want y'all to realize. One of the side effects of listening to Drake's music is that it causes the electrical signals to change. And when it comes to the receptors that control reason, insanity, well, it cuts off those receptors. And thus you become unreasonable and insane. So be careful when you listen to Drake's music, man.
I see what you did there.
But anyway, no, I'm just fucking with you. But anyway, there's a thing I want to point out about this video, because I'm glad that they're celebrating this song and saying it's the best, because there's something that no one's talked about, no one's really pointed out about this song and Drake's intention with this song that goes to highlight even more the hypocrisy behind this whole lawsuit thing. Okay, I'll speak on that as we go. But having said that, let's get right into this video.
So it's the anniversary of the beef. A year ago from now was the time around where the beef had started between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. This is where things started kicking off. All the songs had dropped, all the songs had released at this point. It was on May 4th where Kendrick decided to drop Not Like Us, which took over the rest of 2024 and has now started a tour that he's running in 2025. But it looks like a year has passed and there's new information that has came to the surface.
The day that Drake's world stood still. Why? I bet you Drake to this day asks himself, why the hell did I respond to that dude? I could have just been gone. I could have finished my, came off tour, maybe took a break, worked on the album. But I let these niggas gas me up. I let acting them gas me up, man. Damn. I tricked myself out my position. Fucking with these niggas. Bro. Yeah, he had nightmares still about that shit.
Surface. And we find out from DJ Hed, a longtime friend of Kendrick Lamar, had gone on the show effective immediately with Gina Views. Shout out Gina Views and DJ Hed. And they talk about the beef. DJ Hed had recently done a video with Rory and Ma that is going viral right now. But I think the most interesting thing that was said was after the fact. They have a conversation about how Kendrick Lamar had asked for the fade from Drake. Kendrick wanted to squabble up. And now it's all starting to make sense. So this is the conversation that Gina Views has with DJ Hed. Apparently they give us the biggest insight from this beef that nobody has known for this whole entire year.
People just kind of just have fun with this. Like, then it's easier for everybody to digest rather than it just being just so fucking serious. Yeah. Like, it's not serious. Like,
well, I agree with you. It did get serious for the homie. It got serious for him because it was like, oh, there's a boundary here and you cross the boundary.
Right.
And that's what I was trying to explain to Ma. And I told him that, like, if you tell me your earlobe is off limits and I'll just fuck you earlobe, now I have to be okay with whatever comes with that. Yeah. You can't tell me that I'm wrong for whatever come with that.
But that's because that's the one piece that's missing for public perception. So the public doesn't know that there was an internal conversation. They don't know the phase was asked for. I don't even know if I was supposed to say that. But whatever.
Hey, listen, and if there's a lot of people on X Drake fans calling this cap, but if we hadn't heard this before and this type of talk before, I'm not sure. Look, we don't know with 100% certainty whether or not this is true, and everyone's trying to get clicks and views out here in these internet streets. But I'm not going to question her and DJ Head's integrity at this point because they haven't done anything that would make us question their integrity when it comes to the information that they disseminate to us, right? So if the fade was asked for, it was asked for. And why? Because the boundary had been crossed. So again, we keep hearing there been a conversation behind the scenes. Hey, we're going to do this. Let's do it. But we're going to leave this other thing out of it. Our families, things like that. People talk about Kendrick mentioned Drake's kid. He didn't mention Drake's kid. He said, I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that. Waking them up. No, that's not the same thing as saying that your wife is unfaithful, a hoe, telling her to shake that ass for you, and on and on and on, and saying that you kick her ass. Well, how did we get to that? Right? Like, come on, man. So you can understand that. And again, I'm going to show y'all exactly how nefarious this is because of what Drake was really trying to do with Family Matters. People think this was just, oh, why would Kendrick go there, meet the Grams and not like us? They overlooking this on purpose. But then most people just focus on the lyrics. It's more to it than that. It's more to it than that. And we'll talk about it in a second. But this new piece of information about the fade being offered, I can believe it, man. I can believe it. I don't know how it would have went down, where it would have went down, but I can believe it. Okay, nigga, how you want to handle this? You want to handle this on wax or you want to fight? Let's just fight. Because if we handle this on wax, it's going to get even worse for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to embarrass you in front of the world, whereas we can do a Fight Club situation, you know, out the public's eye and be done with it. But you know, Drake wanted to take it to the internet streets.
Motherfucking flow. Nigga didn't want to get.
This nigga's scared.
Okay, so it's supposed to just keep it on the beat. It's supposed to just be about rap. But this is the line that you do not cross. And if you cross that line, then it's fucking up.
And then you can't tell me what that looked like.
And
right, exactly.
So Gina Views and DJ Hed just dropped a bombshell, man. A year ago from now, we are just finding out the fade was asked for and somebody had turned it down. Now, I think the songs that Kendrick Lamar has been dropping in GNX have been adding a lot of context up until this point, which is why he probably has a song called Squabble Up, and which is why it's probably also the main reason why you hear Squabble Up before you hear Not Like Us. Remember, it's the intro song for Not Like Us music video, and Squabble Up is a phrase for fighting. It leaves me to assume that Kendrick Lamar is the one that was asking for the fade. And I think, in my opinion, that Drake was the one that denied the fade. We'll keep it alleged, bro. But if anybody's going to have some insight, it's DJ Hed. He's known Kendrick Lamar for a long time. They're talking about the Maul situation where DJ Hed had talked to Maul on a podcast, and they're talking about the conversation that they had, but implying that Maul and them don't know the whole story. DJ Hed goes to this podcast, but they don't know that Kendrick had asked Drake for the fade. They don't know that a fade was even asked for in general, let alone who asked for it. So add that to the mix, and it starts to make a lot of sense. It makes sense why Kendrick has songs.
Maul don't know shit. And you want to know another thing that really ticked me off about that so-called debate? Why do you allow Maul's conspiracy theories to be part of it? How are you so? This whole debate thing, look, they're getting their views, they're making their money off of it. It did what it was supposed to do, right? I mean, multiple platforms are talking about it. Whether they liked it or not, people still talking about it. Okay, cool. But there should have been like a rule to where no conspiracy theories can be the topic. Multiple times during that whole thing, Maul was saying, you can't tell me, and then blah, 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 insert whatever. You can't tell me UMG didn't, you can't tell me that this wasn't, you can't tell, but there's no evidence. So how am I supposed to argue that? How can I argue something that one is a conspiracy theory? Two, you already said, I can't tell you otherwise. So you're just, and it's almost like Maul was doing this on purpose to kind of put these things out there to continue to be a part of that narrative that they've been trying to shape. That should have never been a part of that debate. There should have been a rule that no conspiracy theory. All right. We're just debating these topics, right? And you give your thoughts or If you got facts, state your facts. But as far as that, you can't tell me UMG didn't. Okay, that's cool. Where's the proof at? If there ain't no proof, how can I even argue against that? It's just crazy, but I digress. Anyway, let's finish up.
Sounds like Squabble Up, and it makes sense why he has songs like Peekaboo. If he hate and disrespect, you better follow up with hands. Losing to the neck, but now I'm trophied up. I'm saying like bing bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. The type of shit I'm on, you wouldn't understand. The type of skits I'm on, you wouldn't understand. Big dog business, I will not hold your hand. So clearly in the lyrics in GNX and Peekaboo, Kendrick said if he hating or if he's disrespecting, you better follow up with hands. You better squabble up. So I'm convinced that Kendrick was the one that offered to fight. I'm just saying. Let me remind you that this conversation happened because of the interview that Maul did with DJ Hed. They're trying to say that nobody knows this context. But now that we know this context, it makes a lot of sense that the lyrics in GNX are about fighting. Now, obviously, we know that there was a beef. We know that there was a rap battle. They exchanged songs back and forth. It looks like Kendrick was dissing Drake now for denying the fade. He turned it down, and Kendrick reminded him on GNX. And it starts to make sense with the lyrics in TV Off as well. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. Now it's starting to feel like even though Drake's bigger than Kendrick Lamar, that didn't stop him from asking for the fade. Even though you're bigger than me, I guess it's not enough. I really do think at this point now that GNX has a different perspective after knowing that he asked him for the fade. It's like he's reminding Drake that he pressed him, he got on his case, and Drake turned it down. They're like, what he on? You know, what he on is a phrase that people's like, what you on, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you want to fight somebody type shit. And with my type activities, like squabbling up, then don't you get involved. I think some of the lyrics now add different context now that we know that a fade was asked for and that a fade was turned down. It's starting to make
I ain't too sure about some of that. I mean, that could be, I guess you can take it that way. I don't know. Those lyrics are so open-ended. I don't know if it, I don't want to read too much into all these lyrics, man. It could have been in reference to that, but I don't know. I don't know. What Kendrick need to subliminally address the turning down of a fade? Because these would be like subliminal shots, right? I don't know.
Makes sense. Why songs like Squabble Up exist, why it was played before Not Like Us, why he does the punching sound effects. It starts to make sense why he talks about doing push-ups, working out the right way instead of doing surgery. It's starting to make sense why he was saying all of those things. He was asking for somebody to fight and they denied it. That means that they probably didn't trust in their own physicality to handle themselves in a fight. As to where Kendrick,
Drake had them surgery scars. He ain't trying to take no body shots. Shit, probably still was healing up. You know, talk about getting a ring, squabble up, nigga. I just got done getting this fat sucked out of my gut. I ain't got time to squabble up. I got stomach issues from that. Oh, what you talking about squabble up? I ain't got time for that, man. No.
He's shorter than Drake, but he was the one that asked to fight him regardless. It ain't the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. You see what I'm saying? Say you're bigger than myself, but it's not enough. If you were really like that, then you would have still fought me. You try to downplay me because of my size, but when I asked you for the fade, you said no. It's just adding a lot more context than I thought, bro. I just thought that I pulled up these lyrics because those were the lyrics that I thought of when I heard that somebody actually did want to fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? These were just the lyrics that came to my head. And now that I'm thinking about it, it just came to my mind. Also, besides GNX, Euphoria was definitely a song that he had kicked this off with. And he had talked about fighting in there as well. This is one of the first diss tracks that Kendrick Lamar had put out. And he even talked about fighting in this one. He said, I don't like you popping shit at Pharrell. For him, I inherit the beef. Yeah, fuck all that push and P. Let me see you push a T. You better off spinning again on him. You think about pushing me. He's Terrence Thorne. I'm Terrence Crawford. Yeah, I'm whooping feet. We ain't got to get personal. This is a friendly fade. You should keep it that way. And I think that friendly fade was the fate that he had asked for.
Yeah, that line right there definitely is in reference to a conversation, that understanding. Let's put it that way, an understanding. You can tell, and this was just to kind of like highlight that in public and put it on wax. Like, we ain't got to get personal. You ain't got to talk about my girl. I ain't got to talk about your boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to do none of that. We ain't got to do none of that. Just gonna keep it on wax. You can diss my discography. You can call my shit whack. You can do all that. Talk about me being short and having small feet. Do all that. Just don't bring my girl in it and all that. Don't bring my family in it. I won't bring yours. It won't get crazy. I won't have to call you a PDF. How about that, Drake? Drake said, no, man, I triple dog double dare you.
We don't got to get personal. We could run the fade and just drop everything. But instead of running the fade, you back down. And now we got to do all this. Because of that, that's how we got into this point. That's how we got Not Like Us. That's how we got GNX.
Yep.
That's how we got Squabble Up. And that's how we got every other song from that album. But nonetheless, I think this was an insightful interview from Effective Immediately. But shout out DJ Hed. Shout out Gina View. Shout out Effective Immediately. I love the content that they drop over there. Still got to react to DJ Hed. All
right, we're going to stop it right there. Shout out to the Ville. Listen, to wrap this up, I'm going to point this out, okay? I made a post on X, all right? And this was in reference to someone, of course, talking about Family Matters. I'm going to just go over there and show that to y'all real quick. The original post, she's just saying, because she, or I don't know, this is a she, but Swamp Lizzo, right? Talking about a post from Kirko. Got the Drake shit on there, or all the diss songs anyway. And the person commented, I'm telling you guys, Family Matters is the best song here. And so I just quoted that and reposted it on my page saying, I'm glad y'all keep bringing this up. Y'all complaining UMG is wrong for pushing Not Like Us, but what was the idea Drake had behind Family Matters? He made a video because he intended to commercialize a diss song full of lies. He's suing over what he tried to do to Dot. And so I want y'all to think about this, right? A lot of people, a lot of them, myself included, talk about the lyrics of Family Matters and the fact that Drake definitely went dirty first as far as family goes and bringing family into it, okay? But let's take this a step further, okay? Drake is suing. He's saying that UMG essentially should not have pushed Not Like Us because of the defamatory content, okay? And the fans back that and they say, how can UMG do this? And this is crazy. And Call of Duty. Okay, we make the argument with Drake's allegations in Family Matters, saying Kendrick is a woman beater, saying his son belongs to his best friend, all the crazy stuff that entails, right? But now I want y'all to take this a step further. What was Drake doing before he dropped Family Matters? He was promoting it, right? This was the quote unquote red button. He did a whole rollout. He built up anticipation. This was where this was the point that Drake was taking all his chips and pushing them to the middle of the table. Boom. I'm all in on this. This is everything. He even went so far as to make a video. Now, when you promote something and hype it up like that as the red button, the nuke, the one that's going to put an end to all of this, there ain't going to be no signs of life when I drop this bomb. Then you make a video. You spend money and you spend time to make a video. Why do you do that? Why? I'll tell you why. Because he wanted it to go viral. He wanted it to be a banger. He wanted people to be in clubs quoting the lyrics. He wanted people to be in clubs talking about it must be day free, right? He wanted all of that. He wanted all of that. And so here's what I'm saying. I'm glad that people keep bringing this up because it highlights even more so the hypocrisy behind the whole thing. Before Not Like Us, Drake wanted Family Matters to do what Not Like Us did to him. That's what his plan was, to destroy Kendrick, humiliate him, and have the public singing songs calling the man a woman beater, talking about his kid ain't his. Think about that for a second. This is way more than and then people wonder why Kendrick went as far as it's not just the lyrics. He really tried to publicly humiliate this dude. He tried to do a public execution first. And on top of that, when Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, he didn't even do a video with what? Months later? It was a while before that video came. So Not Like Us did all that with no video, but Drake tried to do it first. That's what people's not realizing. It's like, okay, he said what he said. That's bad enough. But understand the intention behind going behind the step of making the video. It could have just been another song on a diss track. He didn't make a video to Push-Ups. He didn't make a video to Tailor-Made Freestyle, even though he had to take that one down, but so we won't count that, right? It wasn't no video for it. Wasn't no videos for nothing else. He made a video for the song that he called The Red Button. That was supposed to be the nuke, the end all be all of diss tracks. That's how he hyped it. And what was the content of this song? This was the most scathing, defamatory content to date in that battle. Up until that point, there had been nothing in none of those diss tracks that was as scathing and defamatory. And not only did Drake make the song, he made a video to the song. And it was pretty decent production. Like he didn't just shoot it with his iPhone. They like took the time to go find. Remember, 50 praised this shit. 50 said, damn, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Y'all went and got the van. The idea behind it was to humiliate this nigga in front of the world. And to have that idea of him being a woman beater, to have that idea of his kids not being his, to have that idea in that picture of Whitney shaking that ass for me, to have that idea in that picture of all of that in people's minds in the club as Drake so-called, slid on the record. Think about that shit, man. Kendrick didn't make a video until months and months later. People mad and bitching about him hitting the Al Pinata, but Drake tried to do it first. Before there was a Not Like a song, let alone a video. Drake tried to do the exact same thing. It didn't work. And now he's suing for the same shit he initiated. There's no other way you can look at it. There's no other way you can explain it. All of y'all that's praising that song, keep praising it. Keep doing it, because all you doing is lending more credence to what all the rest of us been saying. What right do he got to sue? He literally tried to publicly humiliate this nigga with a song and a video way before Not Like Us even came. It only came naturally as a consequence of that. And so now picture Kendrick. He's sitting there. He like, whoa, not only did he cross the line, like we had already talked about, and the bitch nigga don't even want to fight, he had the nerve to make a video. Why? Because he thought that this was going to hit. He thought this shit would shoot off. There would be TikToks. There would be people dancing to this shit. All of that. Dirty free. Like all the shit you can say from them, whatever they want to call a quotable from that whole song. Right? So now in picture you, Kendrick, you like, oh, this, okay. You right. Not only did he say that, but he made a video. Why? All chips was in. This was it. This was all or nothing. Another reason why Drake was defeated in the Heart Part 6, because it was all or nothing. He didn't have anything else. He was ill prepared for the whole battle. In the first, that leads me to one last thing about what Maul said. I can't remember who played the clip. It might have been the company man, somebody, but Maul they was talking about the Heart Part 6 and how, and Hed was talking about how Drake sounded defeated. And Maul, one of the things Maul was saying was, oh, well, he didn't want, he's like, enough of this. Basically, he was saying, enough of this. You got all these diss tracks. How long is this shit gonna go on for, man? Like, we ain't gonna keep. How does that sound? This is a fight, nigga. That'll be like getting in a ring and then wanting to quit because the nigga throwing too many punches, too many combos. You in the ring already. You already slung the mud. You dropped your so-called nuke, made a whole video. You thought you was going to humiliate me. You thought people was going to be in the club singing this. Your video was going to be going viral. There was going to be reels and shit. All this shit that happened with Not Like Us, that's what Drake intended to happen with Family Matters. Think about the nefarious intent right there, man. Think about that. And people keep on trying to back that shit up. Keep on trying to like justify that bullshit just because Kendrick shit hit harder with no video, mind you, no video at all. The video came later. No, man. So all that bullshit. What was I supposed to do? Just keep rapping, going back and forth? Yeah, nigga, it's a rap battle. Yeah, no, you quit because you put all your chips in, and my hand was better than yours. That's it, man. But anyway. That's the whole point out. That's one of the main points I wanted to make on this. I do think there was probably a fade offer. Drake bitch ass didn't want to fight. He thought Family Matters was going to be the nuke. It wasn't. You don't make a video unless you intend to embarrass somebody. He thought it was going to be back-to-back 2.0, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't. Kendrick stepped on that shit. So stop trying to justify this nigga, man, in his actions. He asked for it. He asked for it. He intended to do the same thing that was done to him, and it just didn't work out. So I don't care who he's suing, UMG or whatever. Remember, that video is still up. That video is still up. Drake might have a half-ass argument had he taken it down. That video is still up with all the defamatory content in it. You don't make a video if you're not trying to emasculate, humiliate, and do whatever else type of ape to somebody, okay? Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll check y'all in the next one.